Hello, this is Excel 2013 for lab reports. Here's our index and all the things we're going to see through this video. And we're going to go to the table number 1. This is our table from Lab Creators specifically. And here's how we got all the information. However, this is too much information and we just want the average in order to get just 2 graphs or 2 tables. So in here in diameter, what we are going to do to get the averages is to add the biggest value on diameter and the smallest value on diameter, that in this case are 37.58 plus 17.72 divided by 2 in order to get the average of 90 degrees in our diameter, that is our first independent variable, And we are going to do the same thing with depth. It's very important for you to notice that these brackets makes the difference, since if we take it out, we will have a totally different value. So it's very important for you to add this bracket. After we have done already that, here I have already my table. To make a good table, you just select the table you want to make it, and we put insert and table. We put as accept, and here we have our table, that it's our second dependent variable. We're going to make the examples with this table. So it's very important for you to notice that our angle is our independent variable and is going to be represented in the x-axis, and that our dependent variable is our y-axis. This order is important because any other way it's going to graph something different than what you actually want. So to get the graph, we just select these two and we put insert and this graphic, and we choose 0.1. Here we have our graph, but we need to do several things before delivering it. First, we are going to change our title. Our title in this case is diameter versus angle. Here we have our title. If you don't have this option, you can go to select the graph, design, add element, and here is title of the graphic, and here are the options if you don't have already this option. Here we have our title. Then we are going to select it in order to label the axis, and add element to the graphic, title of the axis, and horizontal. In this case and in this graph, it's angle, and then we click again at the graph and design, add element to the graphic, title of the axis, vertical, and here we're going to erase this, and here we have the diameter. Now that we have this one with the values and everything we want, we will select the error bars. We want to select again the graph and go to design, add element to the graphic, error bars, and more options of error bars. This is very important because any other way you're going to get totally different values. We choose the last one, both this option, and we go to personalized specify value, and we choose this column, that is our uncertainty values that we got from our own calculations. So this is very important in order to get the real uncertainty of your specific experiment. We put accept. Here we have our real values and real uncertainties or error bars of our experiment. So now that we have this, we want our best fit line, right? So we select the graph, we go to design, add element to the graphic, and line of or best fit line, and more options of line. Here we go to the third option as we did before, and we choose lineal and present equation in the graphic in order to get the equation right. And if we go to the paint symbol, we can get the color different. We choose an orange one. Sorry. Here on the paint symbol and here in orange. And I like it, this line. Okay. So now we have our best fit line that crosses through all the error bars. Yep. So now that we have our best fit line, we go back to the index and check what we already did. We make our tables. We title the graph. We label the axis. We made our error bars. We made our best fit line. We made our equation of a best fit line. And we changed the color. Now, we're going to go to maximum gradients that passes through all the error bars. So we go again to table number 2. And here, what we are going to do is to make another table because other programs do it for you. However, Excel isn't that friendly in that aspect, so you need to make another table in order to get your maximum and minimum gradients, at least in Excel 2013. So here I put my table, and I have max and min. We got these values from, we take a point at the beginning that they are like really far apart. For example, 90 and 40 that are the biggest values of the dependent variable and the smallest one. However, in this case, since this one is too small, I will take the one that is in the middle into account to have the real maximum line, so that we get the actual value. So here I got this one. Since we are aiming to the maximum, we want the biggest one. So we need to sum our uncertainty, that in this case is the uncertainty of the angle, that is 0.5. So that's why we have all this. And in maximum, we do the same thing by adding our diameter plus our uncertainty, since we want this point of the graph, right? So to add the maximum and minimum gradient, we go to right click. Oh my god. Right click and then select data. And here we are going to choose add. Here we put our name, maximum. We have our name, and the values of x is our dependent variable, and the values of y are going to be our independent variable. We click accept, right? Now here we can select our points, and we make a solid line, and we can change the color in order to get differences between them. Here we have our maximum line. I will color it in the same color so that you can notice. However, at the end you will choose how to express your solutions, right? So now that we have our maximum, we are going to get the minimum. The minimum is doing the same thing, but in this case, you're not going to add the uncertainty since we want the smallest value, right? And the minimum, we do the same. However, this time we rest our uncertainty because we want the smallest part. So this minimum, We're going to do the same thing. In order to get our other line, we put right click on the graph. Sorry, this is just not working. Yeah. Select data. We add again, but in this case we're going to add minimum and the x values are these ones and the y values are these ones, right? We click accept. Now we have our other line, and we're going to choose a solid line in order to get our line in a better way. We select this one and solid line. We're going to change the color in order to have a more clear perception. However, you can leave it as a black color. Here we're going to change it. Sorry, this one to the purple one for you to notice our maximum and minimum gradients. So we will go back, and now we have our maximum and minimum gradients, and we are just missing the dispersion of the graph. Here we're missing the dispersion graph. However, the first graph we did is our dispersion graph, so it's the first step we took. So here's the key. For example, if we do it again and insert, and here is dispersion graph. So we already have our dispersion graph. So that's all covered. The last step is to paste the graph in the Word document. That is the easiest part. Sorry. So we just click and right click, copy. We open our Word document and we just click with this one, maintain format and origin. We just wait for the system to notice all the things, and here we have our graph. And if you see, you can easily make other changes inside the table, even in Word. Here we have the same option as in Excel. So that's it for today's tutorial, and thank you for your attention.